Hey guys, my name is Seniac and welcome back to the hustle and bustle of CanalTown here in City Skylines. Well, today we're going to do even more expansions than before. We're going to build a brand new area, and that's all down to what we did last episode where we were able to build a brand new bridge and kind of connect unconnected areas, which is going to be really exciting. One of these is this bridge here, which I still haven't elevated. We got to sort that out. But guys, welcome back. If you are hyped for today's episode, then please make sure you smash that like button down below. If you're new in here, make sure you do subscribe so you get notified when the next episodes do come out. But we are back, and the area in question is this one right in front of us. This is what we built last episode, which I really do need to elevate this highway. We have this big bridge that cuts across, and a few vehicles are starting to use it. I think it's now down to the fact that we built, last episode, this brand new commercial area. So they're finding the commercial vehicles that distribute the goods to and from this commercial area quite handy to utilize the brand new road. It goes all the way over the stretch and connects up to this highway, which is a very interesting junction, a very interesting way how we approach the highway itself. This was just built out of pure necessity because of how the canal system works underneath, but we're going with it, okay? We're going with it. Shut up. Leave me alone. So I want to work at this area today. What I want to do is I want to build like a focal point. I was thinking about making this slightly go underground and pop back up for the pure reason of trying to kind of create it as not a green area, but have like a nice city park in the center. The road goes underneath, pops back up, and just make it very, I wouldn't say pedestrian, but walkable and green. Fresh air. You know where I'm going with this? I don't know yet. We're going to see what happens. But that's what we're going to try and get all connected. So like I said, guys, if you do enjoy the series, please smash the like button down below. Subscribe if you are new around here so you can know if I next episode come out. Right, I've done all that. I can now breathe. What I'm going to do first then is I'm going to create on each one of these little mini islands the road network going around it. This is going to allow your boy to then figure out how we're going to be doing the bridges going across this area. So I'm not really going to get one on here, unfortunately. So we'll just kind of do the basics. So we'll just anarchy it so we can kind of get it all in. There we go, and then straight down. So from this, we can then create little kind of bridges that cut across. So the obvious thing to do first then would be, let's do, actually before I do that, let me kind of create the one that's going to be here. If I just bring that down to there, I should have no issues with cutting across like that, cutting across like that. So if I just cancel this one for just a moment, right, and then we do the same again. Let me get rid of the bulldoze mode. Cutting across to there, going straight across to, ooh, actually it's gone a little bit funky now, hasn't it? See, this is what I mean. You can have a few little issues here and there. We just got to try and settle them and sort them out. Because I want to try and get like a gridded format. But this is quite important because the more bridges I do like this, the more it's going to feel intertwined and connected. And the more they're going to not, drive through here causing too much traffic and pain. If they're trying to get over to this area and vice versa, if they're trying to connect up to this. So that's what I'm trying to look for more than anything right now, is how I can alleviate the issues that I might get. So hooking this up and over, and if I bring that just to there for just a moment. Now, not all of it we're going to be able to get connected up. Like this here, I'm not going to be able to do it. But if I, bam, cut across like that, that should all now be level. So, in reality, if I now go ahead and build what would be the road extending up, I reckon, because I don't have a connection here too close to there. So, what do you reckon? The 20 or the 30? Now, bearing in mind, I do kind of want to do something here. I think the 20 will be fine, right? You reckon we'll get away with it? So, let's base the 20 off this rather than that road. So, then that there should be... Okay, it's not perfect. let me redo that. You're 20. Oh, okay, I messed it up straight away, didn't I? Messed it up straight away, boys. So you're 20 there, and then straight across. So it's not a perfect 90, which is even kind of more annoying. So I do want it to get almost borderline perfect. Now, I don't know whether it's this Or was it this? 20. See, that's your 90 degree. That's where you're winning. So we kind of base it to that one instead. So if I bring that one just to there. So that runs up. And that would run up. And that's going to bend anyway. So you kind of have to be wary of that. So we might see a little bit of traffic on this. Depending on what goes down. But then we're going to give it a space of a... And this is kind of annoying because the node for each one is just over by 1. So if I build this and bring this up by 40 and cut straight across, this is the bit here we're going to try and make kind of go underground. Or not. Or does it matter? I don't know if it matters or not. To be honest with you, kind of thinking about it. Yeah. I don't know. But the space from this doesn't allow me to have too much of a connection in, but that is all down to the issues we have with the spacing of these kind of canal systems. So forget that for now because we're still running up with this. This is all good. This is all fine. So if I was to pause the game for just a moment, and if I was to do like an underground format or variation, you're only really gaining this little bit here. So that's why I'm thinking, is making it go underground even worth it at this point? Because I can make it go underground all the way back, but I need additional connections to the road. So the traffic's not an issue. Right, scrap that idea. We're scrapping that idea, guys. We're just going to go straight to there, and then we'll figure out our own little system. So definitely going to have a park here, right, 100%. And it's a case of then where else we would want it. So I reckon if I came up to here, connect in, go across to there. If I deleted this bit, and we just can like kind of integrate the road, it almost becomes like a little bit of a central park. Kind of a little bit, you know what I mean? You kind of get that vibe from it. So we utilize that, meaning we have to then fix everything else around it. But because the space from this is not perfect and vice versa, it then alleviates us from having the 10 by 10s and all that kind of stuff. So you do kind of get away from it. So how far up can I take this in before bend starts coming to play? Right, let's just do a normal 10 by 10. 10 by 10. Okay. And then from here, right, if we came up to about, because we're going to smack it into there. So if I came up by a 30, a 10, 30, sorry, a 20, 10 by 10 it, which is going to be there because of how the space works, and connect in. And then bring this down. And keeping this kind of going similar. But then again, we've got to try and get this to run with this. So I'm wondering if I use the parallel tool, we can get away with it. So if I went from, let's just go from like here, and I'm going to bring it up to about there. So flip it on the other side, and we will now go up, 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 about a 40. So we'll kind of have that as a little bit of a space there, and then hopefully things go to plan. So that connects into there. That runs, will kind of change how this, but then again it doesn't need to because you can kind of have like a straight connection there, but I might change how that kind of runs with it. This kind of goes all the way to the end, which you can kind of keep it like that, which is, again, fine. But it does then mean I'm going to have to kind of slightly change some of this. Right, and then, or I can just make these meet in the middle and then we do fun little roads coming off it. It's like I'm trying to run with a grid, but deep down inside of me I know I want to kind of come away from the grid. So I could have that run like that, which again, perfectly fine. And if I did a 10 by 10 to then kind of run down, so that there, where does this, what happened here? Is this elevated or something? What's going on? That must be like some like slightly elevated or something like that. So if I got that to there, and here, I just realized it's doing it here as well. Oh snap, I didn't mean to actually elevate it. So this is the fun of having your roads all bend in different directions when you're trying to grid it all off. But this is part of the fun with trying to kind of solve the issues. So you're going to get roads that do twist and wind and turn in all different areas. And that's where we utilize them for example, this coming across right now just connects to there. It's like where Old Town meets New Town. So this road here is going to be quite a little bit, you know, too close for comfort there. So that's a case of where you do another 10 there and you bring it down in hopes that you can utilize this to bridge the gap like that. So you can see how it all now bends. Weirdly, you don't notice it too much, that you kind of go off-centered. It's pretty cool. It's pretty cool. So do another one. So we ain't going to go too far right now because that's where we want to kind of build like the Central Park kind of vibe. This is my next issue, is how far I then take all of this. So I could leave it like that and maybe bring this under as like a little bit of a coastal or kind of river side run. And then we'll do the similar on this side. Now, seeing as that was a huge success, if that's what you want to call it, Zodiac. And we went for a 40. But obviously that doesn't work on this. So, 60, 58. 50, weirdly, 58 looks like the right number. I don't know why. It just kind of does. So, it's not too far off, so I'll take it. I'll delete back by a bit so we can utilize it a bit more. And then we'll run with all of this. So we are now over here. We did a straight 90 degree. I could do a 90 degree here, which is not a problem. All right, and I'll sort the elevation of the heights out momentarily. But here, this is where we're then starting to think of how can we get these all connected up. So to there's a 26. So if I went by a 16. You just got to find that common ground to bridge the gap of these roads. That's all you've got to do. So running this up will be a little bit all over the place. If I came up by your 10 and across in, that will be a little bit too much to handle. So we don't do it like that. Oh, actually, what I could do is cancel that off. Right, and then come from this side. Right, I want to get this done as quick as possible because I do want to start. There is a 53, so a 43, believe it or not, is then going to be not a 10 by 10, but could you? Oh my goodness me! I just realised. You know what? My eyes are not very good today because I just realised all this is slightly elevated. So this is where I could change this, where we create the connection where it bends out. So if I chose here, I know that's going to be a 7 by 7. And then straight down. In. Funky, but manageable. Oh, what am I doing that for? What am I doing that for? So is that your 10 there? No. No. Yes. Alright, might as well just go to there with that. And is that asking too much? I want to say no. But you never know in this game. You never know. So, I'm going to actually use the elevation tool here to go from there to there to there. Up to here. To try and keep that all the same level. Not bad, not bad, not bad. So, I'm going to put it back into play mode right now. There's a lot of stuff going on. There is a lot of stuff going on. And to be honest with you, what's stopping me from connecting this road to there? There really isn't anything stopping me. Maybe apart from the fact that the connection's slightly off. But that's where this tool comes into play. Now, this could either be a good idea or a bad idea. So if I just try and maximize as much as the bend will allow me so it's like barely noticeable, connect that in. There we go. It just gives us that alternative connection into the area without having to drive up and down this. Are you feeling it? I'm not sure if I am just yet, but let's create the little city park to begin with, and then we'll go down that road as we progress. So let's have it start just over here then. So just over there, we'll paint the area real quick. So what I like about doing this is, one, not only does it make you money, but it also gives you the leisure boost to all the buildings around it. Now, we want to make it intertwined and connected as we possibly can. So I'm going to add a fair few of these little side gates as I can. Alright, bam, there. There. And we'll do one in the middle. Because you're not really going to be having much going on here anyway. So just there. There. Bam. 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 And then we'll do some bridges that kind of connect them over. Again, another way to get them to cross the road without, you know, initiating the entrance to the road. So as much as I can, get around here, because it's also a great way to place all the schooling systems down as well. So, ooh, that's slightly off, isn't it? But that's okay. Alright, bring that to there, to there. It almost all connects. It's a bit funky, but roll with it. And then connect that to there, to there. And there we go. So, oh, I forgot the middle one straight down. I forgot actually connecting that, the main bit as well. So we wanted to kind of go up and over. Alright, so we'll do it here. So, wasn't that going up? I'm not selected there. So we'll go by a 7 and then down. And then we'll do the same on this as well. So we go up by a 7 and then down. Simple yet effective. We get the gist of it. So I'm going to try and add a couple of these buildings on both sides then to really spread out the love a little bit. To really boost up the attractiveness scores so we can get it to potentially to the 5-star level that we need it to get to. Right, add a couple of these down. Bam, bam, bam. I mean, we'll do it anyway. I've never not got it to the level I've needed. What am I missing? Oh, trampoline parks. So get that one there. There. So we will place some trees down. It doesn't all need the power. But we have the access, the ability right now to kind of build these areas slightly up. Now we have large gaps here and there for some of these places, which will allow me to place down like monuments or specialized buildings or even services. Now let me just kind of cover myself with this area with water. I've just kind of messed up slightly there, so this one's going to be a bit funky. You gotta go 22, and I slightly did a 23 on the other one. There we go, 22. Okay, that's a 24. Right, you know what, we'll just do like this. We'll finish it all up right now. And I'll run for the middle, just kind of connect it. It's the world's worst piping right now. Don't judge me, okay? I can hear you typing comments right now. Don't think I'm stupid, guys. I feel the judgment. Right, okay. So that's him. Now we're going to start placing down the residential. So really important to have lots of residential around the park area, given the reason to kind of utilize it and walk nearby. So we'll start with the residential zoning first. So get this all in, and it's also going to be good as well because we can have all the ferry stops around it too. That's another benefit to building all of this. So getting all this in. I mean, some of them are not going to like it. It's all high density as well, so we're going for that slight population boost. There we go. Now, just down here, we'll do some commercial. Now, although we have good commercial connections and shopping areas just over here, which will eventually be a ferry stop away. That's going to be really quite fun, isn't it? We've still got to build some of this all up. So, let's cover this area. Just down to here. And we will run up the residential up to here as well. So this is like the other side of the main river. It's still within New Amsterdam, but it's the bit across the other side. It's the overspill from the city. And then this area got built up. It's like the new version of Brooklyn in New Amsterdam. You know what I mean? So they're going to need some power, obviously. Now, I don't know how to kind of bring that over just yet. I don't know whether to place all the service buildings and the education stuff in first, so I'm going to put it into pause and go for this higher rise building. And then the higher rise building for the high school, which it does kind of clip the areas, but it is what it is. There's not really much I can do about that. Now, hospital-wise, ooh, this is the big one. So this is where we can really take advantage. So if I use a rural style road, and then how far do you reckon I could bring if I came out by a 5? I did an 8. No, let's do a 4x4. 4x4. Just end that there. So then this will allow me to place a decent sized hospital in. Perfect. Place some trees around it. We're good to go. And then for death care, we could drop down a couple of crematoriums on the opposite side. Quite morbid, but you know what I mean. So this is the style of tree that this is the style of tree we're going for, isn't it, in this area? Yes. Right, so we'll fill up all of the park area with it as well. Nice. Nice. Okay, so policing and the fire department. Where would be a good location for this? Now, it would be great if it was near the highway, so it's got quick and easy access to kind of skedaddle in and out. And I feel like that also needs a separately located area. So I could kind of maybe bring it out by 2, go to 5 that way. So it doesn't, I mean, say it doesn't take too much from that. It's going to anyway. So police department. Actually, how big's the fire department? The fire department one's the bigger one. I like these new style of buildings. There we go. And then the police department, which is... That's a better sized building. Even though it's less police cars. But, yeah. There we go. So, getting all those buildings in first. Right, which will really boost the area up in general. I do need to bring power over. Now, the easiest thing to do for me would to basically run some power going across to the police department there and the fire department. Now, I don't really have any zoning connecting these guys up just yet, but if I go from the corner there to there, that will then give the area exactly what it needs, and it will be all underway and up and running. So we should see initially quite a bit of traffic within this area, solely down to the reason is it's a new area, new residential, high density residential, so everyone's going to move in all at once. So you will see initially traffic before we have to then wait for the traffic to die down and see if there is any additional traffic. Now, when it comes to ferry stops, right now we only have this orange route that comes down. It only stops here, unfortunately, and then it goes up here. So we're going to need to build a road on this side. We can have the kind of stops connected, but it now allows me to potentially build a ferry route that goes the opposite way, which is quite exciting. I'm going to save that for next episode, though, because I feel like I want to get a lot more built in first. So this all crosses over, which is pretty good. I'm going to like drop specialized buildings. It can be warehouses and all that kind of stuff. So we'll see what we get up to. You can now see the traffic coming in for people moving into the area. So this is where the fun actually begins. Now I've got options here. I could do something very similar to what we did over here, where it allows vehicles to turn left and right and then have an additional one for dedicated left and right turnings. I mean, it wouldn't be a bad thing. But like I said, I've got to wait for this traffic to initially, and the pedestrians to initially move in before I see what's going down. We actually need another solar power plant. Oh my goodness me, guys. We're going to... Oh no, this one has no water. Wait, how long has that one not had water? Well, once it gets its water, do we then go back to having power? Let me fast forward. Yes, production versus consumption. How long have I had that? It's had no power then. No water, sorry. That's been crazy. So ignore this traffic. It's just everybody initially moving in, so we're going to see, issues none the least. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to delete this bit here. We're going to go back to our normal road that we've been using, and I'm going to use the connection tool to kind of give me an idea of how good a connection would be for this area. Now, I'm not going to be able to do the full shebang. Like, that there, to me, is borderline perfect. Because you get the bend that follows the waterfront, the straight bit there we can utilise. So I'm going with that. And it's just a case of making all the additional roads kind of run to a complete end with it. So I could keep this running. And that almost goes in straight. I could take a connection just off here. I can bring a connection down. What would be the best option for me? Something like this? I mean, I'm not really getting anything out of it because of this area. So another thing I could do as well is maybe I could run that to there. Actually, run that to there first and go like that. Run that up. I don't know why. It's now creating so many bridges. But I can first, right, which will be interesting, is run the connection. What am I on again right now? Okay, I keep going to the parallel tool for some reason. Run that there to there, because that is initially a straight run, which is quite handy. If I can then try and utilize maybe if I come out by 5, do you reckon I can get that connected to there in something quite unique? Let's find out what kind of bend they're asking for. Nah, okay, it's a little bit too much. I'm asking for a bit too much right there. So I could come out to here and try and attempt the bend then. But am I asking again too much? I mean, you're really going to have to say, yo, Seniac, you're going to have to push it back a little bit. So just forget that. What I'm asking for there is not going to work. So delete you. And so what I could do is just kind of completely run it up. That there, I could run up. And leave it as that. So you get the runs going straight, and then the little gaps there is where you plant down the trees to kind of finish the area off. So it's gridded, but it's old school, old city, old layout vibed gridded. Like you would see like in an old European city. That's what the kind of the road layout slightly reminds me of. Which is quite fun. I do like that. I do like that. So what can I place down here then to kind of complement the area? One of all these, what are these the pedestrianised stuff, isn't it? Yes. None of that. Let me see what we got. We could do like the transportation tower. This kind of stuff is good to kind of fill these little gaps because we're going to have quite a large high-rised area. It'll be nice to get these little landmarks in quite early, and so the city builds slightly around it. Not too many. I'm not making it like a skyscraper zone, but like some reasonable buildings would be quite nice. Oh, the Grand Mall. See, that would be a nice building if I actually built something proper for it. So if I came out here by 10, and just a little bit of a 5 by 5, and then the Grand Mall. There we go. To be honest with you, that could be placed a little bit further in. Let me redo that. So go to here. There we go. Move that down a bit better. There we go. So it looks a bit out of the ordinary, but when the buildings are around it, when the trees are around it, it does become quite a unique area. So this area should thrive, to be honest with you. These styles of buildings and whatnot, it should kind of thrive. And what else would be... I mean, I don't want to push it too much. That's my issues. I don't want to push my luck too much because I want to save some of these buildings for other areas. But now we've got traffic on the other side. Again, don't get too stressed. It's just the traffic initially moving into the area. But there we go. So that commercial demand has all increased over to here. We've got a stop there. I might do a stop here and potentially one on the other side as well. Link it by a small little road and path and whatnot. So we have an additional stop there before they go over here. There's going to be multiple stops coming down here as well. So that would be quite fun. I can get one going this way when I kind of fill this area up a bit more too. So the connections are definitely there. And then obviously this one going around there, coming out this way, will scale through here, doing the odd little stop going through. Can maybe connect in that way, or even connect through this canal running there, like the big outer loop. So the connectivity for these ferry systems is it's all there. It is all there. So I reckon what I should do then, now I've got this stuff down, is slightly change up where some of this commercial is going to be. So if that's our transport tower and becomes quite a unique tourist hotspot, I might as well replace it with a slight bit of tourism. Same for the posh mall as well. Go for not tourism, sorry, go for commercial. And then around this area, go for the commercial. Now I know the power lines kind of get slightly in the way. We'll delete those. And I'll delete those when we got a little bit more connectivity. But getting the commercial in is then going to grow the residential demand to slowly fill this area. We'll fill this up with the trees. Fill this up with the trees as well. So then when the commercial builds around it, you see the trees from within it. Oh, there's actually... Don't forget these little spots there. Nice. This will be a nice little area once it's all done. It really will. We just need public transport connected to it. Now, the gardens themselves, look at $3 grand already before I even change the price. That's glorious. Alright, get rid of the traffic lights. And that's interesting there, there's a crossing. Now, I say it's interesting because we could also benefit from a path just here. And also running that across to there. I'm sorry, building, but that across to there just kind of give us that additional connectivity. And then maybe run that just to there. Additional connectivity, boys. Additional connectivity. So yeah, I want to see what this area does and how it then performs once we have fully moved everybody in. Then we can see what issues then lie from it. So let me just sort out this bridge here, if I can even select. There we go, the bridge itself. So just slightly elevate it so it's up and over. Get rid of the traffic lights just there. Try and let it as flow as much as we can. So we have a highway connection here. We have the highway connection over here. Now there's a lot of traffic going to be coming down because of the shopping district here. But it will all change once you get public transport in. That's the other thing that we've kind of got to remember. It will all change. Wait, hold on. That's the posh mall. What was this the Grand Mall? Ah, it was the Grand Mall. Sorry, I got my names wrong earlier. So yeah, it will all change. But also at the same point as well is if this traffic is consistent like this is where we'll slightly upgrade the roads to add a few more turning lanes and whatnot. So traffic is not an issue just yet. We'll kind of see how the area progresses. Let everybody move in, then we'll judge it. Add some public transport, then we'll apply and change some of the lanes. But this is going to be a great area to build up right now. We're over 50,000 residents, and we're kind of slightly coming away from the main peninsula. Which does mean I want to then change some of this low density to high density. This is the natural progression. And then move that low density to more of the suburb areas around New Amsterdam. But that's going to be quite a big, heavy, popularized peninsula as well. 2 peninsulas looking beautiful with canal systems everywhere. It actually looks really, really good. But it's been a while since I expanded the garbage area, and I can see this putting quite a bit of demand on the garbage area as well. We have some over here, which I could expand that, which will serve this area. But I have all this unused land here got to do something with, so that might be a good point to utilize it as well. Right, for now we'll end it. I hope you guys have enjoyed this episode. This is going to lead up to us building some crazy, crazy stuff right now, and the expansions are real. So until next time, guys, I'll see you all soon. So good.